Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal, where we are back on desolate plains. We are ready to do this Liao Alliance Flashpoint one more time, and this time we're going to set the wheel aside for a minute here, stepping outside of the bit, which you know I don't like to do. The real purpose of the wheel is to make the game more interesting and more fun, primarily more fun for me if I'm being honest, when it's too easy. That's not the problem we're having here. The last mission to this Flashpoint especially is actually pretty hard. So you know what, we're just gonna go at this as hard as we can. We're gonna try our absolute best, and hopefully walk out of this with a hell of a lot of money and also some lost tech. Wouldn't that be nice? So we're just gonna click through the dialogue really quickly. I believe there's not even really any significant dialogue choices to make until after the second mission, right? So we could just pop through this. Now, not a ton of interesting stuff happened while I was running through all those half-skull missions, as you might imagine. But there was one thing that I think is worth noting. I ran into a type of vehicle I'd never seen before that carried its own narc weaponry, and so I was able to salvage the ammo bin off of it. So we now have a functional plus 50% missile damage mark narc beacon on our Orion. I'm hoping that these weapons are going to fire in the way that, you know, in the order that is best for us, that the narc beacon will go before the missile bays, and we'll get that missile bonus right here. But even if it doesn't, we would at least get the missile bonus on subsequent attacks, and of course, we're probably going to be running the Orion alongside the Stalker fairly frequently, and setting up the beacon bonus for all of the Stalker's missile damage, I think, is quite significant. So, we're going to be trying that out. We're going to be trying a new weapon system out here. This is a lot of money and a lot of salvage. We are no longer in a position where we are, like, super desperate for cash. So I'm inclined to dial up the salvage a little bit. Yeah, we totally might see 5 mech pieces that we want to take home, right? And like I said, we are just going to try our absolute hardest here. So the Annihilator is definitely in. The crab's tricky in a desert environment. We probably want to run the Stalker. Tiger Tail, no offense, but get the hell out of the mech bay. And, like, honestly, I think this is a really strong loadout. The Orion is still pretty heavily armored. It's not quite as tough as tough 100-ton mechs usually are, but it's tough enough to hang with stuff here. And I think we really benefit from having something with that kind of mobility. So if we were going to run the crab, obviously it's got to be crews driving the crab. I'm working on, you can see here, I'm developing a couple of our pilots into having 3 skills, in particular making sure that we have a couple more people with coolant vent. Foxglove is going to be very useful as a replacement for Returned once we actually get his skill points up a little bit more. But, you know, if we have to use Returned here, then we will. I'm not opposed to it. So we've been running, let's see, Tire Fire is not bad in the Annihilator. Obviously, the Annihilator sometimes has heat issues, and it would be cool to have coolant vent here, but I think I value the breaching shot a little bit more. I know we have been using Uncrackable. Maybe that's what we want to do. I'm trying to think, because we could put Tire Fire in the Orion, I guess. I don't know if that's the right move. The Orion probably needs some evasion, right? Like I'd kind of like to have somebody who's sure-footed in the Orion. In fact, Steamfitter is a pretty good fit, and now his skill points have actually gotten high enough that he is a legitimate first-string pilot now. And then it's just a matter of who goes in the Stalker. Actually, this may be where we end up putting Tire Fire. I don't expect that her sensor lock will be particularly useful here, but breaching shot on the 120 damage LRM-20 is pretty solid, and obviously whoever's driving this, we want them to have multi-target. It could be Trampoline instead for the extra movement. I think I like, or for the earlier sequence, but I think I like. Do we like Breaching Shot over that? I'm not actually sure. Looking at it, their stats are almost the same, so there's not going to be any real difference there. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this, because this way we can have the Orion go on to set up the narc beacon, and then have the Stalker fire on 2 and get in that whole missile volley thing ahead of all the enemy mechs that are moving on 1. That's probably worth running that way. Alright, I think this is it. I think this is the one. So we got through this first mission, as I remember it, pretty easily. We got through the first 2 missions without taking any real serious damage. The problem is just on the 3rd mission, I got a little overconfident. I got too used to being able to just bulldoze all of my problems by running directly at them and then figuring it out later. We have to apply some better tactics on that one. It's risky to go down. There's no guarantee, by the way, that it will take place on the same map. So we might an analysis of what we could have done differently last time on that map may not even matter for the future here. But I'm definitely a little bit leery of luring the enemy into the caldera because they have then that base to use as cover, and they also have the benefit of the water cooling. And
command interface initiated.
I really don't know what the right move would be there. Fortunately, that's a later problem. Let's focus on right now. Right now.
Me of my first wife.
What does that even mean? His first wife had heavy vegetation.
I understand.
All right. 60, 65. Okay, so it's like a mid-size lance, and then there's going to be reinforcements. I'm familiar with this thing. We've seen this before. Do I want the stalker to run up this much? I guess, yeah, I want to try to get myself into a position where we can have direct fire, right? We don't necessarily want to have to use the LRMs around cover. I don't think I want to just jump right in. I think let's let them come forward a little bit. Then we can have the Orion move up and test out that Narc beacon. So the Narc beacon only has 6 shots. So we got to be a little bit careful with it. But it also doesn't have a listed duration. So I think it might be the case that once a mech has been hit with the Narc beacon, it just is marked for the rest of the battle. Obviously, that's what we'll be hoping is the case. Oh, I should probably have my my notepad up. Hold on a second. Let me tab out and get that ready. That's not that. I have a lot of windows open, is what I'm learning. Just trying to make sure that we know what mechs we might want to salvage here. So catapult C1, not a problem. We're all good on quick draws. Yeah, so we probably want to take this guy down first, right? The quick draw is less dangerous and also not that much easier to kill. And that guy has bulwark. Alright, so it looks... I'm thinking that probably the Narc beacon is going to fire after the SRMs, since it's lower on the list. It might be the case that I have some control over that I could, like, reposition this stuff and have the Narc beacon go first.
I'm loading a full salvo.
Couldn't tell. It looked like the Narc beacon 1 damage happened in the middle of all of the missile hits, but then all the missiles were hitting for 6. Wait, should they have been hitting for... Hold on. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Alright, let's step over here, and... I mean, we can afford to just... We can afford to show the stalker.
You betcha.
So, he did get marked, right? I mean, I want to just kind of, like, try to core him, I think. Catapults are not super tough, although, you know, this one's not... It's not that easy to kill it, I guess. We could try to shear off one of the sides, although we did not really do a lot of damage to the side armor. Where'd all the damage go? Did I really only hit it with that many? Wow, that's horrible. What a terrible job we did. Alright, let's just go straight center.
Commencing open strike.
That's pretty good. That was a pretty good amount of damage. Where's he at? He is at 33 health.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Yeah, that is an okay outcome. I kind of want to just have the crab sprint. Hold on, let's have the Annihilator step out and take the shot here.
I'm rolling.
We'll let this guide our hand a little bit. So I probably don't need to fire everything, but I also really, really want to make sure this thing goes down. And I am potentially going to be able to stand in some water over here. You know what? I'll just take the heat. It's fine.
I'm on him.
Wow, even with all those shots, did I seriously fail to get the kill? Not a single weapon went center? No, we stripped the armor off. Wow.
I hear ya.
Well, I guess the crab is not sprinting then, because I actually really do need that guy to die. We have 2 chances here. Did we somehow manage...
More where that came from. Let's go.
That's unbelievable. Not only did we not hit center... Oh, I did hit center. I hit it for 32, the damage reduction. But, like, I didn't manage to destroy any of the body parts with all that exposed garbage. It's just, like... It's a little...
How might I help?
Some might call it unbelievable. Alright. In a move that is perhaps a little too dangerous, we're just going to commit really deep here. So what do we have? It's a 60 and a 100. Maybe I don't want to jump in all dramatically like that. Maybe I, in fact, want to reserve down? Well, I don't really want the 100-tonner coming at the Orion with it just sitting here with a single point of evasion.
You have orders?
I could... Okay, here's what we'll do. That's right. I have Ace Pilot. We're just going to shoot the catapult and then back up. So, obviously, don't spend another narc shot. And I get to shoot him with almost everything, or with everything and still not really generate that much heat. I think, again, just
Confirm.
because we're having terrible targeting luck here, let's go ahead and give him everything. Let's take this seriously.
That's a kill.
Alright, Steamfitter, nobody thinks that you are cool or intimidating. Maintain vision of this guy for everybody else. Hopefully we can finish as much of this as possible without having to let their 100-tonner actually get involved in combat. Do we want to... if I'm going to shoot at this guy, I probably want to... Or shoot at him without aiming, I probably want to hit his side arc, right? So there's a potential for the punch through. I wonder how safe this is going to be. Again, that 100-tonner could be a crab, right?
Moving to position.
But I'm further back. No, I'm not gonna aim. We're gonna preserve the resolve. There's the whole reason I walked over here in the first place.
All weapons are go.
Sure, he has bulwark, but he also only has 640 total armor, so you know. Okay, that works out all right for us. That seems like it was probably a fair amount of heat.
What can I do for you?
We might be able to work with that.
Confirm.
Let's have the Annihilator back up. Now, do I want to back up? I'm trying to, like... What I want to do is get closer to the water. But I also want evasion in case that 100-ton mech is real scary. Which it totally might be. Do I want to spend resolve now? No, let's hold off again, because we're pretty likely to do some real damage here with this much weaponry.
Firing.
I'm a little surprised to see the leg not break, but we got the knockdown either way, so it'll work. Did I strip his center torso? Almost. He has a single point of armor. Okay, it's something with LRMs on it. I believe that the default crab loadout has an LRM 20.
Waiting for orders.
So I think that suggests that is not what we're seeing here.
Moving out.
Alright, let's see if we can cut him in half. I am not going to use the UAC. We'll use everything else. There's pretty good odds on that still getting the kill.
Did you see that? Did you see it?
The LB-20X is a cool gun. I'm
Yes,
a little... I wish we had found a good way to use another one. So here's like an opportunity, right? We could jump in, reveal whatever that thing is, and maybe... Ah, man. Maybe we should try to take this quick draw down first.
What can I do for you?
I'm not necessarily, like...
Reporting.
I'm not scared of it, but it definitely is... It's like doing enough damage that we could very easily suffer some armor blow through and real structural damage. So I think what I'm going to do is just sensor lock one of these two. And I think it's going to be him. I think we're going to try to take his head off.
Sensors locked on.
Okay, it is a king crab. It's an LRM 15.
I hear you.
I was going to say I don't think it's a crab because I don't think we took 20 missiles there, but 15, yeah, that makes sense.
On my way.
All right, I am going to go ahead and spend a precision strike. See if we can knock something off of this mech. Actually, do I want to go for that, or do I just want to take his leg? Because his leg should be pretty easy to get rid of.
Firing everything I've
This will screw up his, Oh, I got the torso
got.
as well.
You'll take it and like it.
I was gonna say, this is gonna, you know, we're gonna get the knockdown, and then that's gonna screw with his accuracy, and... But sure, removing the weapon also lowers the damage he can output.
Good to go.
Alright, now is the time when we try to kill the crab. I'm guessing that I'm going to be able to hit him with all of the weapons from here. Yeah, the Annihilator's actually functional at a pretty significant distance. Ah. Nothing hit, and even if it had hit, I didn't deal with the bulwark. I maybe should have just fired one AC-10. Rolled the dice on that. I'm surprised that that angle works. But this rock in front of me was a little taller than it is, apparently.
What can I do for you?
Well, we did save our own crab. And we did save enough resolve. I think I am going to walk up... Ooh, no, I need to... Can I not get range? I can't get range on him, oh no. I was going to try to go for the UAC headshot. Well, can I get firing range? Okay, I can get firing range with all weapons on that guy. And we're in the appropriate firing arc. I'm gonna turn. Let's see, what arm am I showing him there? Oh, that's the UAC. We're gonna turn this way. I would rather lose the LB-20X.
Got it.
And we're just gonna shoot this guy with not everything. I don't think there's any reason to turn on the UAC just yet, and I want to preserve its accuracy.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a shame. We didn't quite get there. Oof. How bad is that? 30 structure. It's not nothing.
Internal damage. Let's get this done.
I mean, I just didn't think there was going to be any chance that he would... oh, that's bad.
I've got eyes on hostile
I think there was any chance he was going to not get shot at by my crab. We are not really ready here. Alright, so I don't have an angle on this guy. Oh, that's interesting. Even if I turn toward him, I can't direct fire him, even though he can direct fire me from that spot. Why would that... That shouldn't be. Well, I guess there's something of a question here in what the likelihood is that we get to kill the crab before he gets to kill us. If I reserve down right now, the AI will get some more turns, and then after that, I will go first during one phase, and maybe that'll be okay. A lot comes down to how many enemies there are operating on two, because the Orion can't necessarily withstand an infinite amount of punishment. I'm going to go ahead and reserve down, because I think it's really important that we get to use our crab before they get to use theirs. But this could end up being not great for poor Steamfitter. Quick Draw doing a remarkable job shooting straight through rocks in a very obvious way.
Internal structure damage.
Wow, that's a lot of damage. What on earth?
Awaiting orders. Confirmed.
Alright, probably it makes the most sense, actually, for me to do this with the Annihilator. Very annoyed, by the way, about the firing arc here. Do I want to do it with the crab? We have 4 weapons on the Annihilator that are capable of the kill. With the crab, it's only 2, the 2 shots from the UAC. So I probably just want to... Oh, I don't get to fire everything, though. Yeah, that's... It's still the right move.
Here we go.
Okay, that not working is, like, phenomenally bad for us. Ow. Alright, that's enough, that's enough. Oh, man.
Reporting.
You know, at some point it actually does become us being really, really unlucky. to never be able to hit this headshot.
You betcha.
Well, we're not on the side that has... Oh, actually, never mind. We totally... Oh, right, he has two AC-20s. I was going to say we're not on the side that has the ammo, but they both have the ammo. So, do we want to just go for the center here? Like, we could go through the torso. I think I like that.
This should be good.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks a huge amount.
Yes, Commander.
Definitely not not the way that should be going.
Going skyward.
So we're gonna have to keep Steam Fitter out of combat for the rest of the run. He could potentially still provide useful sensor locking. You know, that's something. But he can never be visible to the enemies ever again. He does still also have an AC-10, so he can engage in combat at a distance.
Awaiting orders.
Yeah, just get in the water. Everybody just take a minute here in the water. If they want to fight, they can come over here. All we really know is there's somewhere over there in the distance.
Show 'em what you got. Yes, Commander.
And I see absolutely no reason to do anything. In fact, we may just have all of our guys reserve again. Okay, so they have a 95. It seems like maybe a real dearth of sensor lock, because otherwise you have to imagine they'd be doing it.
Reporting.
Alright, give me a sensor reading on that 95.
I've got a sensor lock.
It's a Banshee 3M. That is one of the things that we need.
Waiting on you, Commander.
There's a mech design that matters, so we probably want to just start in with the Stalker, right? Now, ideally, we would take its head. But if we break both the legs, we still get 2 pieces. So let's start working on those legs.
This should be good.
It's a lot of damage to just barely get through the armor. I guess 130 is a lot of armor, to be fair.
Got it. Max speed, no
Crab
shooting.
obviously closes as fast as possible. The Annihilator can afford to lay back a little bit further. In fact, the Annihilator is just going to sit perfectly still here. I already spent a whole turn doing absolutely nothing, just standing in the water. I don't understand how his heat was still so high.
Awaiting orders.
I see no reason not to immediately sensor lock you again, because you are definitely going to be the target of our focus. Okay, a 95 and a 90. So this lance here is by itself as powerful as our lance and then also they had backup. These are tough missions. So do I want to get the knockdown? We could try to do the pilot damage thing, I guess. Yeah, let's knock him over.
Take this.
Alright, so we got a pilot injury followed by a pilot injury. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take advantage of him being down because he's going to get up before we could. But
Good to go.
this is not a bad start.
Got it.
Unfortunately, when you get to the more advanced pilots, it becomes very, very difficult to do enough damage to a mech, or enough damage to a person, to bring them down before you destroy their mech. My suspicion is that's probably where we're going to end up on this thing. It's just like there's no way to do enough damage to that guy.
Reporting.
I do appreciate him turning his mech so his other leg is available. We will absolutely go after that leg. I have no qualms about just taking him down and taking 2 pieces of salvage off of him. So we're just gonna stand here in the water and keep working the lower half. Okay, we got through the armor a lot faster there. That was a much
Waiting
better
on you,
grouping.
Commander.
You're not going to be able to do much. To be perfectly honest, I think I'm just going to have him run down here and hide behind this rock. Because I kind of want to bait the Banshee into moving up before we take our turn with the crab. You don't have to be very close. You know what? Actually, I think I've made an error. I think the Annihilator should be coming up over here. Let's try to correct that positioning. Okay, interesting.
Waiting for orders.
Chose not to do anything except make it hard for me to shoot at that leg. It is kind of like a weird, spiteful AI gaminess thing, though, because obviously, like, this makes his mech much easier to kill. This only makes sense if the AI is trying to deny me parts. Do I want to just reserve down? We don't need to sensor lock him right now, and depending on what he does at the beginning of Initiative 1, maybe we don't even need to?
Yes.
Now, let's just in case he goes for a shot or something, let's keep that sensor debuff up on him.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So if we can't fire into his front arc, then we have no way of not killing him. We have no way of doing damage to him that doesn't kill him. So I'm going to reserve down. We're going to let him move around a little bit here. Looks like he turned a little, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get into his front arc still. Oh, no, never mind. I totally am.
Coordinates received.
Going to generate a little bit more heat this way, but... So I need to do 44 damage, and it would be great if I didn't also core him. Because if we core him, we're only going to get one piece. So let's go for just the LRM-20. It can't do enough damage to core him out. We're going to get 89% of 95% of those 20 missiles to the leg. Should be more than sufficient.
Got it.
Yet we hit way below expected value. Holy crap. That should have been like 17 shots to the leg. Instead it was 3?
What can I do for you?
No, it was 4. That's definitely not the way that should have gone. Alright, their 90-ton mech is over here, and it looks like there's nothing I can do to get vision of it. I can see everybody else. Alright, well, let's just reveal the crab and see if we can't knock
Don't need to tell me twice.
the entire top half off of one of these smaller mechs. So it's the Cyclops 10Q, which is, it's not exactly terrifying. And then we have a Dragon with an AC-5. Neither one of these mechs is exactly terrifying. They both have Bulwark. Let's see. Oh, I'm firing into the side arc on that guy. I guess it's true on both of them. Let's see. 190, 165 plus 190. We're slightly more likely to get through the Griffin. The Dragon is a little bit more dangerous. Are we on the side that has the autocannon? We are. Okay, I'm just gonna try to go through his side armor.
Got it.
That helps quite a bit.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
Orders.
And you are absolutely going to need to step it up. Now, unfortunately, the left leg is the weak leg. So it's not impossible we're going to see the Annihilator get knocked over here. But I think the crab's probably going to tank a hit pretty well. Or a turn worth of hits, rather.
Reporting. Waiting on you, Commander.
Okay, we can still get into his front arc. Now, we probably need to... I'm gonna take the same shot. Oh, sorry, it's 66% of 95%. Trampoline doesn't have called shot mastery. He should... Well, whatever, this is what we're doing. Yeah, we're still getting, like, we're getting nowhere near the aim that it says we're going to get. Alright, random headshots. I feel like the AI gets random headshots a hell of a lot more than I do. Like, a whole lot more. Alright, so we have this Banshee left on 1, and also the Dragons on 1. If I move into a position where the Orion is visible, it is absolutely going to get shot, so we're just going to reserve down and let them go first here. Alright, Crab's armor is mostly holding. Armor on the head's a little thinner than I'd like.
Awaiting orders.
Alright, am I going to spend the Crab's turn taking the dude's leg? Maybe.
Yes, Commander.
We could use a turn. To cool some of the weapons. The leg has 1 health left. And the center torso has 66. We can afford to fire both of the large lasers here, without a risk of overheat.
Firing on target.
Or sorry, without a risk of coring him.
Enemy down.
Alright, so that's 2 pieces of salvage from that Banshee. And let's see if the Annihilator can shortcut this Cyclops problem for us. Because that would be neat, right? If we could we could get something to actually go the way we would like it to go here.
I got you.
Alright, right to your face, with absolutely everything.
All weapons. Go.
Nope, nothing, man.
Reporting.
They removed the chance for my weapons to hit the head of the enemies. It was a weirdly specific patch note, but they felt it was important. So that guy SB, he's just too good at the game. He's ruining everything. The Cyclops is the one whose weapons I'm most worried about. I guess we give him the impairment. We probably need to get the Crab to not be the only thing there is for the enemies to attack.
Orders.
The Stalker can work on this Griffin, I suppose. I do have a direct shot to it. Hit chance is not awesome. Move to like here. I probably don't want to spend any resolve. So the other thing I can do is just shoot at the dragon and hope to get a little bit lucky. You know, honestly, I don't hate that. What's my hit chance? It's honestly still pretty good.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. Alright, that was very spread out damage. It was not exactly a surprise, I suppose. If you don't aim, that's what happens.
Armor's holding.
Yes, Commander.
Armor's holding for the moment, anyway. No, you're just gonna reserve.
I took a hit in the meat.
That's a horrible way of expressing that.
Reporting.
Also, uncrackable, you don't need to be worried about that. Come on, you know you cannot be cracked. It's right there in your name. Love to get a point of evasion and also still be able to shoot for the face. It looks like that's not going to happen. So we want to make sure that we're keeping our right side toward the enemies best we can, but like we're shooting at that Cyclops, so I can't turn too much more than this. There we go, we finally got one.
Target down. Awaiting orders.
Alright, the Crab gets to shoot this guy in the back, and it's hard for me to imagine that that's not the right move, right?
Got it.
Why would I not just shoot this guy directly in his back? There's no way he survives this, right?
Commencing Alpha Strike.
I guess if both of the AC-10 shots go way off to the side. So we hit him in the back of the arm with one AC-10 shot, and I guess the other one must have just hard missed. Not really another way this could have gone down. I'm still pretty nervous about exposing you to any kind of combat at all, like to the point where I think we're going to jump even further away from such things. We're going to show our strong right side to any enemies who might approach. Also going to Sensor lock. This guy. Apparently he is going to get a whole turn with all of his weapon systems
Let's hit him
intact.
where it hurts.
Not that they're very good weapon systems. Wait, I pointed my wrong side. How did I...
Good.
How did I reverse that? Well, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yes, Commander.
Because the Stalker is going to kill this guy.
Moving out.
And then we're not going to have to worry about any of this stuff.
All weapons, go.
Yeah, this has not gone as cleanly as I was hoping.
Stay down.
Probably that's fairly obvious at this point. You know what? Reserve.
Awaiting orders.
I think it's time for a little bit of high five action. That is that's the side arc, not the back arc, is it? Are you sure? And it's of course it's the side that isn't damaged. Well, I mean, go for it.
Moving to position.
Did that miss? No, it hit him in the leg for
Commander.
not him losing his leg. We're having a little bit of a time here closing. I mean, we could go through that leg, I suppose. Also a pretty good chance I just aim for the center and core him out very easily.
Here we go. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Enemy eliminated.
Okay, so we took some real damage there. Some real, like, maybe we gotta stop and do some repairs type damage. Because the Orion's a big, powerful part of our lineup. And we could try to play a little bit more toward the disables. Replace the Orion with the Dragonfly, maybe? I really like the Orion. We have plenty of those SRM 6++s. We don't have to worry too much about that. And then... according to the spreadsheet, we do already have a finished Griffin 1N. We don't need that part. Take a quick look at these things. Medium laser with plus 10 damage is definitely interesting. These arm mods are garbage. Ooh. Okay. Targeting and tracking system to give plus 3 accuracy to ballistic weapons is kind of cool. I don't know what mech we would equip it on, and like 3 tons is a non-trivial cost to pay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we want to take one of these. Or both of them, maybe, even. It feels like completing another Cyclops is unlikely to be very high value for us. Completing another one of these, anyway. The other Cyclops I would gladly put together. Alright, well, I guess let's finish the Griffin, and then we can sell our extra Griffin. And then I'm going to grab... honestly, even though I know there's, like, some decent mech parts on the line here, we're going to take that plus 10 damage medium laser. Because that's a hell of a weapon. And then I think maybe it is the ballistic targeting system. Maybe we could find a use for it. It's a cool idea, at least. Alright, so we got some additional mech parts. We've almost finished that Banshee. I wish I could have, I wish it was standing in a position that was easier for us to try to shoot at its head. It did a really good job of making it borderline impossible for us to kill it without just going straight through the center. Which is not really a thing that benefits the pilot inside of it or the enemy commander. But it sure does, it sure is a detriment to me out here playing the video game. Alright, so we may need to, hang out for a second here and do some repairs. Oh, sorry, we don't get to do some repairs. We are consecutively deploying. Well, the pilot damage is a real shame. It wouldn't be the end of the world if we had to replace him with tire fire. So without the Orion, we're still in the desert. Let's maybe run the Dragonfly. The Dragonfly has some definite value. And then... do I want to run the Annihilator with its busted leg? That's the only structure damage, right? Yeah, so I think it's okay to bring it out. We just have to play it back a little bit further. To not try to use it as a tank, or at least not use that side of it as a tank. I think I'm fine running it like this. Yeah, I think that's good. So we have to capture a base. We did alright at this last time. Again, though, I remembered it being the case that the first 2 missions went down really easily, and that last one certainly didn't... I wouldn't call that really easily, so maybe this is all going to be a little bit harder than I remember. I'm confident we'll wrap this one up in okay shape, though, at the very worst. It's the next part that's going to be hard, right? So I do not remember this mission at all. I do notice that we have 4 points of priority salvage and still are making over 500,000 C-bills, so that's pretty cool. That's a decent amount of loot. I do think that it's a little bit strange that you don't get to negotiate on the consecutive deployments, that you always get the sliders at the middle in terms of loot. You could maybe make an argument that this represents, oh, we're just moving in too fast, we don't have time for a phone conversation, but logistically that doesn't make a lot of sense. Obviously we would be able to talk to people. Alright, move to the thing. Once the shooting starts, they'll take cover and wait for your signal. Okay. Or just kill everybody first. Also an option. What if I just killed all the enemies before all the things happened? Obviously, Crab needs to be headed down here. The Annihilator, I'm wondering about maybe just putting it up on the mountain. Now, we'll get a little bit closer. The AC-10 doesn't have quite that much range.
You have orders?
I mean, if we run all the way up, we know approximately what's going to happen. I think we want to get the readings at the longest range possible, but we do also have to remember that LRM turrets are very annoying.
Moving out.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so I don't know exactly how many turrets to expect here. There are, as you can see, a lot of turret mounting points along the outer wall. They are not all going to be filled, but we have no idea how many will be. It is, I feel like it's usually the case that you see 4 turrets, right? I'm gonna jump way in here. We're gonna reveal some turret information. A little bit of targeting for everybody else. So we got a sniper turret and an LRM turret. Well, let's go hard on this LRM turret, even though this is gonna like completely blow our heat up. Hold on, I gotta look at everybody else here. This is a catapult K2, and I guess we don't actually have a real reading on anybody else. Here's hoping that 5 evasion is good enough. Alright, that was good solid shooting. Things at 59 remaining health. And remember, next turn we can ace pilot, we can just shoot it again and then move out. Or, I mean, the odds of me letting that thing live are pretty low. That's probably, probably not really going to happen. Alright, so why don't we just split our fire? We're going to give this thing... we're going to give this thing... It's a little bit awkward. Because with the 10 and the 15, we're doing 60 damage each. And we would have to hit every missile on this. So I think we're going to give it both the 10 and the 15. This is way overkill, but the odds are too good if I don't use both of it surviving the volley. Ah, that's a shame.
Give them everything you've got.
That said, the LRM turret was definitely a higher priority than the sniper. Not that the sniper doesn't matter, obviously. I want the dragonfly to live.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
Which is why we gotta make sure we take that thing down right now.
On you, Commander.
I think this is probably an okay time to just slow move the crab in.
Got it.
Give this guy both the large lasers. Alright, good stuff.
Smoked 'em. I hear ya.
Okay, what are the odds that the Annihilator could take somebody's head clean off? There's a quick draw, and this catapult is definitely the... well... honestly, that is 150 damage from medium lasers. They're both kind of dangerous. I guess the quick draw is easier for other people to kill. It has a lower overall armor rating. So let's try to get lucky here.
Got it.
Come on. Oh, I was hoping that we would at least finish off that torso section. Okay, so that's another sniper turret up there.
Let's get this done. Reporting.
Well, we should probably try to finish off the catapult, right? dangerous to leave the dragonfly just sitting out there, but I think I want to leave the dragonfly to absorb one more round of fire and then move it.
Moving out.
I think I'm not going to spend resolve here. We're just going to dump a whole lot of missiles into this guy and probably cut half of his mech off.
Commencing Alpha strike.
Very, very likely. Okay, and we managed to destroy the torso section before putting all of the damage in on the arm. So we saved a little bit there. Victor leaps and then shoots an awful lot of lasers and stuff. That's not so bad.
Reporting.
And there's no ammo in that section or anything. I might... If I do this, I'm not actually going to get to fire all that much. I could run for 3, and then the blow-through's on my right side. So yeah, we could run for 3 evasion and still probably be able to put some of the weapons into this guy. It's definitely not going to be everything. Okay, yes, the facility does in fact have gun emplacements. You're not wrong about that. So what do we get to fire? We have to turn off 2 medium lasers. Is it worth going for the aim shot? Oh no, probably not. We're going to get this core. Fairly likely. How much health does he have left in the leg? Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to bank the resolve here. We just need 2 missiles or either of the laser weapons to hit center there, so it's pretty likely. Ow. So I believe it is the case, well, I think it was the case, that if we killed the quick draw, they lose vision of the dragonfly.
What can I do for you?
Probably not the case anymore. Alright, the good news is the crab is here and is ready to... That is not quite the shot percentage that I wanted to see. I mean, obviously we'll use resolve, but that's not it's not bringing it up to the numbers I was hoping for. And we just go straight to the center, right? With all these big weapons.
All weapons are go!
On. Ow. 5.
I hear ya.
Oh, that's really such a huge bummer.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Alright, I think I'm gonna not... I'm not gonna spend the resolve. Do I want to go in with everything? Also, hold on. I shouldn't have run the Annihilator up this close. I'm so used to it being a tough mech, but we do want to hang back a little bit with tire fire. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna aim. We're just gonna get him, right? This'll work.
Commencing Alpha strike.
Yeah, there we go.
Bang! You're dead!
I mean, it's not going that terribly. I'm a little bummed out that that rifleman is providing providing vision. Poor steam fitter. He's gonna think I'm trying to get him killed. Alright, the rifleman is feeling pretty tough. I'm gonna jump way back.
Confirmed.
We're gonna just take it easy on the heat for a second here. And we're gonna sensor lock that guy. No, we're not. My sensor radius is not big enough. Alright, we'll just mess with your targeting. Alright, that's a little bit better. I'd rather see them shooting at the crab.
What can I do for you?
Dragonfly has he has fulfilled an important role, though. I need to turn. Do we want to aim at anything in particular? I guess we could try to aim center. This guy is really not very tough. That's some weird clustering. Like, it kind of seems like by using the aim shot ability, by using
You got nothing, you hear
I don't
me?
remember what the actual name of it is. We maybe precision strike. There we go. We maybe caused the weapons to cluster, but not in the place that we wanted them to cluster.
Coordinates received.
Okay, and that's just another rifleman. Well, I think I'd rather shoot at the one that's right up close. We should be able to get him. We probably do have to use the UAC, though. So we're gonna, we're gonna have to vent. I don't remember if there's a reinforcement lance here. I should probably be trying to preserve some parts of these mechs. We don't need the riflemen for for our scoring list, but it is still a mech that we can maybe make some use of.
Coordinates received.
Alright, let's see if we can preserve some parts of this one. Yes, yes we can, in fact.
Should have run when you had the chance.
So we know they have at least one more sniper turret. We also know there's not really a reason for us to get too aggressive here.
Coordinates received.
Let's just everybody take a couple of turns and chill out. That's a little bit non-ideal. Maybe we do want to push up now. I was going to just have everybody stand in place until our heat wore off, but we don't really want there to be turrets up while the enemy is coming at us here. Yeah, we'll move up more aggressively. Okay, 2 more turrets, a heavy sniper, and a heavy laser. I don't know what I want to do with Dragonfly. Let's see. You probably want to get a little bit closer. It's actually really not easy to do. I think we're going to have to run all the way back to here.
Moving to position.
I guess with you, we can try to get around the wall. Yeah, that's going to have to do. And yeah, it's weird. It put all of the heat that we should have burned off last turn back on our bars.
Yes, Commander.
Reasons I'm not 100% clear on. Yeah, we just have to get closer. We are out of range. That's a shame. What are we reading over here? 60, 65, 60, 45.
Awaiting orders.
I mean, wait, hold on a second. That can't be right. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say it says 2 of them are moving on 1, but that's the turrets. Yeah, you gotta break line of sight.
Throttle down. Moving
You cannot get shot by a turret in your current state. Alright, we're gonna have to hope that the crab is not gonna take too many accidental missile headshots here. And I'm frustrated by the amount of heat that we didn't lose during that non-combat turn. I guess the question is, which one of the turrets is the greater danger? 2 PPCs and 4 AC2s, so that's 50-50, and then AC2s are like 25 damage each? Or 50, 50, 40, 40. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference, I think, is what we're figuring out here. Let's not fire the UAC, but we'll give it everything else. Because I don't want to overheat, even though this is not actually going to kill the turret. Wow, that's an impressive number of misses, actually.
Good to go.
Alright, well, I really wish that those guys had... I really wish that the turret that we already shot at had been the one that waited, the one that delayed. So we're probably going to have to try to fire pretty much everything. If I don't fire the AC-5... This is still enough damage. We can miss one of the UAC projectiles. This has to go pretty well. Yep, okay, that's... Oh, did I not do that math right? Oh, no, yeah, we could miss any one projectile. It wasn't just one of the UACs. Alright, so I'm annoyed that I did, in fact, miss a projectile, but we will recover. Somehow we will persevere.
Reporting. I hear ya.
Well, we are not given a lot of options here.
Don't need to tell me twice.
And I mean, do we need them? This seems to be the right move. Do I want to tighten up that shot? I probably do. Like, if we can cut this guy off, we should. I certainly don't need him to be in one piece or anything. I really thought that was going to have greater effect. A lot of those missiles went to his arm
Yes, Commander.
instead of to the torso. You know what? You're just going to reserve down. Not sure exactly what we want to do with that mech.
I'm taking a pounding, Commander.
You know, the crab is very tough. It is definitely only able to withstand a limited amount of this, though. The armor is finite. So we gotta figure out how we're gonna
Awaiting
And
order.
we're going to put away several of these guys with some real quickness. I mean, I left myself precision shot. And we do have coolant vent available, which I think we have to use. I'm going to step a little bit further inside.
Moving to position.
We're going to just try to core the catapult. Ooh, just barely get to fire everything.
Affirmative.
And I know I'm leaving myself vulnerable to that turret, but I think it was pretty important that we get that done. Apparently that turret just can't shoot people. It's just terrible at its job.
Reporting.
Who would build a turret on purpose, whose whole deal was it can't
Yes,
hit
Commander.
people? So we must now answer a question. Do I want to jump in for the purpose of sensor locking those guys over there, so that the Annihilator can actually have a shot? Yeah, we can finish off the turret next turn. That's fine. We don't know for sure that we'll be able to get a shot on this guy, or on this guy, because the position of the wall. We should be able to work on him, though, and I'm more worried about whatever this is than the Phoenix Hawk that we know exists over here. I think we can go pretty direct here.
I read you, Commander.
We are
Move
unfortunately going to have to fire a pretty limited subset of the weaponry. Think we just go for the head? I mean, the best version of this is the one where we get lucky and we kill this thing in one hit.
Special
Obviously.
delivery.
And if that hadn't happened, there's still like a pretty good chance that we like
See that?
create an armor blow through somewhere, and then we can focus on that with the stalker. Or I'm welcoming some luck though. Very happy to see a little bit of things going more our way than they ought to. You should be able to finish off this heavy laser turret fairly easily.
I understand.
And then do we just jump back to the other side of the
Turret
wall?
destroyed.
That might be the case. Have to just try to keep this thing in one piece.
Here we go.
It really is a hell of a move. When you think about like the weight involved and everything, how much thrust that has to be.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Alright, I think we can probably just fire into this same side of him, right?
Firing everything.
With everything so weakened. Yeah, there we go. That's what we were looking for.
Gotcha.
Waiting for orders.
I think there's definitely a seriously non-zero chance that we are going to have to spend a couple of days on repair mode. Rather show you my left side if I can. Well, that's left-ish.
Waiting for orders. Affirmative.
That's just a rifleman. I mean, I say it's just a rifleman. It's still a mech that's capable of doing quite a lot of damage. Although it does have to actually hit with its weapons. Okay, no actual structural damage.
Took a hit.
Yes, Commander.
There's some pretty important components in there, so it would be nice if we wrapped this up
Awaiting
immediately. Start with the crab. Hello, I'm going to
Right,
attempt to
Commander.
shoot your face. You know what? We can probably just go center. He does have bulwark, but also, who cares?
Firing on target.
Wow, did I seriously not even get through the armor?
Yes, Commander.
That's
Commander?
wild. That's a wild amount of not doing good damage that I just did there. Okay, let's see if maybe we can wrap this up.
Here we go.
There we go. Yeah, that guy's
Mech
his
destroyed.
bulwark really had him stand through some very impressive damage. But in the end, the player with the larger number of autocannons wins. They tried this time. They tried bringing multiple riflemen to out-autocannon us. And I get where they're coming from. I think it's a solid idea. The problem is we're able to reduce their autocannon number fairly quickly. So I don't remember, is this another consecutive deployment? Because if it is, we're starting to get a little thin on mechs that are heavy enough for the kind of combat we're engaging in. Alright, so we don't need any of the catapult designs, we don't need the dragon, we didn't need any of this stuff. Let's have a quick look at the weapons that are available. Plus damage, plus accuracy, large laser is definitely cool. I mean, I might just take 2 plus damage medium lasers. We use so many medium lasers. A gyro that is not any good. An aim helper for energy weapons. Is it still 3 tons? Yeah, man. I don't know that we have a mech we would want to put that on. The only one where I'd like really feel it's a strong gain is on like the Warhammer, and there's definitely nothing we could afford to cut in order to jam 3 more tons of weapon stuff in there. So do we want any of these mech parts then? We could get ourselves working on a rifleman. Right, like take 3 pieces of the 3C. So many different builds of riflemen. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. We'll grab that, and then we'll grab one of the plus damage medium lasers. Or the large laser? We're going to grab the large laser. Get one of the mediums anyway. We did. Alright, cool. We got the plus damage PPC as well. That's pretty good. I feel alright about that. We got a piece of a dragon that we extremely don't have a use for. And then this is when she drops the bomb on us, right? And we're like, hey, you can't use cryogenically frozen people like that. I've already forgotten what this mission's about. We all know what it's about for us, which is the robot explosions. Okay, so yes, stasis tubes. There you go. That's what it was. Cryogenic, whatever. Okay, so it has marked out for us the one we chose last time. We're gonna make the same choice. Our lines we won't cross, etc. And then we're like, leave the stasis tubes or we're not gonna do the thing. And then she's like, well, I know you're gonna fail at the thing, but fine, I'll do what you say. Alright, we do get to take a break here. Obviously, she's expressing some urgency in her voice, but the fact that we went back to the contracts menu means that if we wanted to, we could take our time and repair our mechs before going into this. Let's have a look at what that looks like. One day... I'm assuming the grasshopper is also just going to be one day. This is going to be a slightly more intense fix, though. And we may as well put this on the docket, because we absolutely cannot run the Orion without doing this. So if we go repair, replace all, and then we go down to our supply of super upgraded SRM6s, which is significant. That's a 3-day build. Well, I don't know if we're going to wait 3 days so that we can use the Orion on this thing, but we definitely need to have this build done either way. Alright, I think that is probably a good place for us to leave it for today. For some reason I don't know what's going on with this thing lately. It's really hard for me to get... It's not hard. It frequently fails when I attempt to put the producer credit thing up lately. Okay, there we go. That's what the end screen is supposed to look like. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, where once we failed, we shall succeed. I hope. Like, I really, really hope, you guys. And we'll see you then.